To be showing you our Jackery Explorer 500 portable power station. It's gonna be beauty. Alright, so we got this generator about 2 months ago. Our friends from Jackery sent it to us and we are loving it so far. So living off the grid comes with quite a few little challenges, and this Jackery so far has been able to help us cope with a bunch of those things and make life a lot easier while living up on our island. Alright, so I'm gonna give you a bit of a rundown on this generator. On the front of it, there is a bunch of different plugins that you can use for charging and a little TFT display screen. To start up the screen, it's just one little button. It says display. As soon as you push it, it pops up. It shows its battery life, its input and output, how many watts it is going in and how much is going out. You have got one AC plug-in here, which you plug in for most things, like a power bar, your computer charger, phone charger. Many things plug into this. To give it power, you just push one button. I don't know if you could hear that, but you can just hear a little fan start it up and then it goes very quiet again. You've got 3 USB ports here that you can plug phone chargers into, again, remote chargers, a ton of different things. And to start and give that power, it's just one more button on there. You've got a big DC plug-in here, like a car port kind of a plug-in. I know we don't have many things that we use this for, but some of my sister's camera gear as well as my drone gear plugs into here, kind of like what you do in a car, but this way, this thing only weighs 13.2 pounds, so I can carry this quite easily with us on a camping trip or in our Jeep. This thing, as I said, only weighs about 13.2 pounds. It's got a big handle on it, so if you're doing things like hiking out in the bush, like what you've seen Dan and I do when we go out on trails, we actually brought this that time when we went out the primitive shelter video. We brought this with us because many times when we had gone out previously to Green Lake or gone fishing together, midway through filming, our camera battery would die. Doing that when you're trying to build a shelter or camp somewhere on an island or a lake that you have to portage to makes it quite difficult. We'd have to jump in the canoe, portage to the lake, canoe all the way back to the cabin, plug it in for hours. It'd just be a mess. It'd really stop the whole shoot from happening. So this has saved us quite a few times in that way. On the Jackery here, right as you can see here, is a light. It's a big LED light that turns on and you can hold it just like that. I love this thing. I've used it at night just for fun when I'm walking around, but I can imagine having this thing at a camp. If you're charging everything, you can charge up lights, you can charge up your phone to run it, but then if you're just walking around and you need something, a long-lasting battery as an emergency thing, this Jenny would come in so much handy because you can turn that thing on and off, and it's quite a bright light. I don't know how long that thing will run on there, but it will run for a long time. Alright, so here's 3 things that I really like about this generator. So number 1 is me being our family droner. I love this thing because you can do 8 drone battery recharges. Roughly 8 batteries can fully charge from being dead with this thing at 100% charge. So for me, that's really great. As I said, I've got 3 batteries for my drone. Each of them lasts roughly 20 minutes, so that's about an hour of flight time. So if I come into a place, I've got about an hour to get everything I need, and when we're in Baja with all of our friends there, I was flying almost all the time when we were on trails, and that hour of flight time runs out really quickly while you're just driving on the road. Something feels like 5 minutes of flying and having fun on the Jeep, and it's already been, that battery's dead. Drop down, put in the new one, it just goes in a flash. If I had this thing, I would have roughly 3.5 hours of flight time in total with just this. So if I'm out in the bush somewhere too, I could fly, get any shot I wanted, and then just play around after that. So that's what I really like about it. Number 2 is one of the main things I like about living off the grid on our island is the silence. There's next to no one on this lake, and even if there is, everyone's really just quiet. Everyone enjoys the peace that is up here and the stillness of the lake. Having a generator as our only source of power currently it's a noisy thing. I mean, it's a silent generator, but still, as much silence as possible, the better for us, and that's what we really enjoy about this place. And number 3 is for when we are Jeeping. We have a dual battery setup in our Jeep, but even with that, it dies quite a bit, and you get all the problems that come with having a dual battery setup in a Jeep. So having this thing just as an extra backup, it being super light, we have a ton of gear on our Jeep, and believe me, the lighter things can be for us, the better. We'll jump on something that's light. So this thing is a really great tool for us to have in the Jeep because we can then charge, like I said, the drones. We won't have to be relying on our battery. Our laptops, you can do 9 recharges of a MacBook 12 like 12-inch screen MacBook. We have a 19-inch or 15-inch. We just have big MacBooks. So you can do, we could probably do about 5 or 6 charges on those, which would be a lifesaver in the Jeep. Again, when we were in Baja on the Jeep trails there, our Jeep battery started flashing and it wouldn't run. We had a solar panel charging the Jeep, but it was just keeping it alive. And we, at the time, didn't even have any sort of electric generator such as this. Looking back, if we had this thing, that would have made it so much less stressful trying to charge something all day and night with the Jeep running, or, you know, messing up the silence and fun of the trip because there's a Jeep constantly running. We could have just plugged into this thing, had a whole bunch of charges for our cameras, for our laptops, and for the drone to get enough to really allow us to get any shot that we needed at the time, as well as continue doing our video. I use this because our Jeep is currently, funny story, our Jeep for some reason is having some electric issues, just a slight shortage in the wire somewhere, wiring down below, and our car port, like our DC plug-in in the car, doesn't work. So I was doing that dash cam review I did of the Nextbase dash cam that we just got, and it runs off of those DC plugins. At first it was just like, oh well, can't do that until we bring this thing in and get it fixed for however long that's gonna be. Then I remembered we did have this thing, and it gave me the chance to actually do the video and show you guys that dash cam. And now whenever we're going jeeping, we just take this thing along, set it in the middle seat if no one's occupying it, or on the ground in the middle, and plug our dash cam in there and some of our batteries to charge, and it runs them all perfectly. The Explorer 500 can also be charged using solar panels. Jackery has a 100-watt solar panel setup that you can use to charge this, the Explorer 500, just using the sun. It can, I think it charges in about 16.5 hours. That's what it says, to get to full charge. But what we'd use that for mainly is when we're in a campsite, like say even up at the island here. Set the thing up in the sun, run a cord over to the thing, and it'll just drip charge it as we're using it, and it'll probably eventually run out if we have a lot of plug-ins to it, but it'll make it last quite a bit longer. And while we're jeeping, we just have the solar panel set up as we've always had our solar panel set up by the tire on our hood, and it would just charge the thing all day as we're chilling at a campsite, most likely not even using it. And then when we need it at night, and we'd normally have to start up the car to plug in our camera batteries or laptops, we could just plug it into this thing being fully charged after a whole day just being powered from the sun. Hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely check out those videos that I mentioned of us going out and building a primitive shelter in the woods, and Daniel fishing where he uses the Jackery to charge his thing, as well as my dash cam video. They'll all be in the link in the description below or at the end of this video. I'll put them there. So, hope you enjoyed.